Jim, on the to go back to the renewal and the title sponsorship situation, and if you could put your finger on why guys want to come here. I mean, we could say the course, but then they're going to have to go to another course in a couple of years. So beyond that, why do you think they keep coming back here?
Well, again, they do love the golf course, and Timaquan has been a great start for us, and we're very appreciative. But I think what we wanted to build, played the tour for a lot of years. I kind of understand. It's been a learning process to see it from the event side and the pro-ams and what needs to go into from a volunteer standpoint to make a successful event. But as a player, I think Tabitha and I always kind of picked our little bits and pieces that we liked from every event. What did they do good in LA? What did they do good in Columbus? What did they do well in Fort Worth? What did they do well in Orlando and Bay Hill? And just kind of pick our little bits and pieces that we liked, and we try to incorporate all of that into this event. So a lot of it is really trying to treat the caddies well, trying to treat the players well. The food here is amazing. Just really the service that goes into it. Down to transportation. We have a gentleman, Andreas, that runs transportation for a number of events around the country, and he's the best at it. So trying to make sure that when they fly in, when they fly out, everyone is treated as good as possibly could. And I think those little things go a long way into making a week special for the players. And then on top of that, they love the golf course, and they get to see a different part of Jacksonville that they've never seen before. We always went to Ponte Vedra, and you go from the airport, you drive right through downtown. You take 295 and miss it. You end up, in Ponte Vedra all week and on that side of town. And people have never really seen Riverside and Avondale and downtown and what our city has to offer. And it's a beautiful part of our city, and it's kind of living here now. We live in San Marco, and it's the folks that live on this side of town are the folks that grew up here and are from Jacksonville. And it's kind of what our event is all about. It's kind of showcasing the city and the needs. A lot of our charitable needs are here in this area and kind of revolve around the city of Jacksonville, and so it makes a lot of sense. But I just think that the players kind of see a different side of Jacksonville, and we try to incorporate our favorite things from all the events we always play.
Jim, I know that this whole tournament is all about giving. You and both have made it really clear, but can you kind of touch base more about what you guys are not only giving as a tournament, but also to the city of Jacksonville by having this tournament here this weekend?
Well, I think you can look at Mayor Donna Deegan mentioned it. We're creating a lot of business, filling up a lot of hotel rooms. So I think there's an economic impact to start with, but more importantly, Constellation's given us just a great opportunity to kind of grow the platform, to raise more money for charity. We're really proud of the event that we hosted for 10 years, where it was Furyk and Friends, and we were raising about $400,000 or $500,000 every year. That was our big fundraiser, and we were able to do a lot of great work in our community, but we knew we were scratching the surface. We want to grow. We want to partner with more organizations that are doing amazing work here in our city. And Constellation and the PGA Tour, having this event and having the PGA Tour Champions event just allows us to kind of grow that platform. And, 3 years now, we've raised over $3.5 million, and having Constellation step up and wanting to renew and be here through at least 2030 is just huge for our foundation. It allows us to keep growing and to keep doing more work in the community and have a big impact. And I think we always focus on the charitable side of things because that's why we exist. That's why our foundation exists. That's why the tournament was created. We want our fans to have a great time. We want to provide entertainment, but at the end of the day, we're trying to raise as much money for charity as we possibly can, and then we're also very proud of the economic impact it has in the city as well.
Jim, I want to add one more President's Cup question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What was your message to the guys in the team room when it was 5-0? And did that substantially change when it was 5-5 going into the weekend?
I think the message on Thursday night is, and we had some guys step up like, hey, high fives and hugs are great, but this isn't over. We've only played for 1/6 of the points, 5 out of 30. Got a lot of work to do. we knew they'd come out, fighting the next day, scratching and clawing. They had to. Their backs were against the wall, and they put it on us on Friday. My hat's off to the international team. They turned it around quickly, and the message there is, okay, you know what? We got thumped today. We got beat. So, but it's still 5-5. I mean, we're back to 0-0 basically, and it's time to, it's time for us. We have to turn the momentum. We have to, the fans are going to be loud. They're going to be cheering for them. My messaging really was very simple. I took the guys and 17 of us, the captains, the players, kind of all went off by ourselves. We kind of locked ourselves in a room and we kind of talked through what we saw that day. My leaders stepped up, had some great messaging, and for me, talking to my assistants, it was, hey, today's over with, but let's talk through it. Let's figure out what happened out there today, what can we do tomorrow, and then let's talk through it and let's forget about it. It's over with. Now we're looking at the future and what do we need to do tomorrow, stay in the present on Friday and play a good, have a good day to get back there and create some, what's the right word? I guess show our dominance, I guess. Let's go out there and be the alpha. Let's go out there and set the tone early on Friday morning. And we went back. It was super quiet on the bus on Friday night, as you can imagine. But to see these guys wake up, we had to get up at about 3:30 in the morning on Saturday morning for 36. We were in the bus at 4:15. The guys looked determined. I mean, just the looks on their faces getting off that bus at the golf course. I really felt like we were going to have a good day. They were super focused, and they'd kind of gotten rid of what happened on Friday, and they were super focused on getting out there Saturday and getting after them early, and they did.
That was an early wake-up call.
It was an early wake-up call, yes. We didn't sleep much.
Was there a point on Saturday where you felt comfortable, okay, that these guys are playing well, and it's only going to take an extraordinary effort by the other team?
I did an interview on the 12th tee, kind of right in the middle of the matches, and Tommy Roy had sent Damon Hack out there to interview me. All right, there's three red numbers up on the board. Are you feeling confident about what you see right now? 3-1 US. And I went, well, before we again, slow down. Those 3 red numbers are 1, 1, and 1. We're 1 up in 3 matches, and we're only on 10, 11, 12, and 13. There's a lot of golf to be played. My team really, we focused a little bit on the back 9. We focused on the finish, and that's kind of where President's Cup and Ryder Cups are won. It's kind of on the back 9, late holes. There's a lot of water. 14 through 18 at Royal Montreal all have water. They're very dramatic holes. A lot can happen. And where our team did really well is we kind of won key holes. We kind of won key matches, and we did a lot of that work on the back 9. And so, hats off to my players. They were gutsy. They were just a tough team down the stretch. So that 3-1 start Saturday morning was key, and then all the matches in the afternoon were important. But we're walking up with the last match. I got Pat next out there. 2 of the toughest players we have, and we could go into Sunday with a 2-point lead. If they lose that hole, we can go with a 3-point lead. If they have that hole, we can go into the 4-point lead if they win that hole. And we all know, Pat hit a good drive. X spun that wedge back, got him right under the hole, and Pat fashion knocked in a key putt for us. And that's a big difference. A 2-point lead going into the Sunday versus a 3 is huge. 4 is even bigger. And so that was a very, very key moment in the matches. And I think it gave our team a big boost going into Sunday.
Did you discuss the pairings or else talking to the Constellation? Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered as I was watching you break up some pairings that had been successful in the past and put people who had been successful with newbies, people who hadn't played very many other team events, if you had gone to what used to be the European plan for the Ryder Cup, back when they had the Big 5. Okay, and they would take those 4 or 5 players and pick other people to put with them and play them until they died on the course, but that's the way they won some Ryder Cups then.
Yeah, I broke up, I think I only broke up 1 pairing even from like going into Saturday. Sam Burns and Colin Morikawa were a pairing that didn't play on Friday an alternate shot, but they played Saturday an alternate shot. Other than that, we kept our pairs together, and there's my pairs, stayed together the whole way. I think we vetted those pretty early before we got to Montreal, trying to make sure the personalities worked out, trying to make sure the guys were comfortable. I think you get there, you practice, you really kind of hone that in and see if things are working the way you think they will. There's a lot of truth in what you said about kind of putting some veteran guys together. Obviously, everyone was shocked on Wednesday night when they didn't see Pat and X playing 4-ball together. I knew we were coming strong the next day with them. They ran into a buzzsaw Friday morning. They played some decent golf, but the guys they played were 8 under through 12. You can't beat that. So hats off to that group. Yeah, we had a pretty good plan going in, and I wanted to stick with it. And I felt like I wanted everyone to be comfortable. There's a lot of truth in what you said and why guys played together. I got a kick out of someone called, it was McGinnis and McKettrick on their show. I think they called me Captain Hunch, which made me laugh. I was like, man, you guys know me better than that. There's no hunches on this one. It was, you make a plan. Sometimes it works. Thursday it worked. Friday it didn't work so well. But you make a plan. And we did that. I said that I felt like I was maybe a half a day ahead from 2018 to 2024. And what I meant by that was I was already talking about pairings before we made the picks. I was trying to make sure that when I put that group of 12 together, that there was going to not ever be a surprise or folks that work together. I was talking to Scotty and Russ back at the Tour Championship before we made the picks about whether they worked out or not. So Russ knew well in advance that he was going to be on that team. It was no surprise to him. And so trying to get ahead of things a little bit was key for our team. Mike was doing the same thing, right? He had those 6 guys in Montreal practicing, so he was a week ahead as well making his pick. So there's really not a lot of hunches. It's just sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And for me, when I look at it, my guys, they just were tough down the stretch, and we came up a putt here, a putt there, and those matches totally changed, and that score is significantly closer than what it looked like, and that's kind of how those matches go. My guys came up with the big moments and the big key putts, and I'm really proud of them.
Did you ever hear what Seve Ballesteros said to Jose Maria Olazabal the first time they played together?
I may have, I don't remember.
Seve says, just play your game. I'll take care of everything else.
I mentioned to my guys there that I really wanted them to just be themselves. There's a reason why you're on this team. You're one of the best 12 Americans that we can put out here, and I love each and one of you. And I said, when I struggled or when I didn't play my best in a big moment, it was always because I probably overreached, I overstretched. I tried to do things that I normally wouldn't because I was trying to be too perfect, and that's not really what golf's about. Golf's, you're out here for a reason. Just be you, and that was one of the messages that I kind of gave throughout the week, and I think that's what Seve was kind of telling Jose Maria, and I love the leadership of that. Like, don't worry, I got you. Like, because Seve had a knack of coming up with the big moments.
What's gratifying about being a winning captain now, and what are you proud of that you feel like you did well as a captain?
What was the last part of that? What
do you feel like you did well as a captain?
Well, trust me, I remember the feeling from 2018, and that week hurt for a long time. I remember it. I remember being there with my family and the kids and Tab, and how much work we put into it, and when it doesn't turn out the way you want, it's a hollow feeling. And I remember all of us as golfers probably remember the losses a lot more than we remember the wins, if that makes sense. The hurt's a lot deeper than sometimes the celebrations, but kind of to have both kids. I mean, Callie's working full time now. Tanner was abroad between 2 stints in Singapore and Berlin, and he had 4 days off, and he flew into Montreal. So to have the kids there and Tab and kind of share that with my family, my mom and dad were there. Tab's parents were there. Was really cool to share that with the team. Guess what do I think I did really well? If I can, I think part of being a captain is, when things don't go the way you want, you're going to take a lot of the blame, and that's part of it. And I think you have to. I think the captain always has to go down with the ship. I think when the team plays really well, you really kind of have to take your hat off to the team. I mean, I didn't hit any. I didn't knock any key 20-footers. I didn't hit all those fairways and play well. You know, they were tough. They were just really good. I think if as a captain, it's a big group of people. Everyone focuses on the 12 players. Everyone focuses, but you got to think about I had 4 assistants that were amazing. I had 12 amazing players, but then I had, you know, you have all the wives and significant others. You have the caddies and a lot of their wives and significant others. I had a group of at least 10, maybe 12 physios. Our staff from the tour, the 9 folks from the PGA Tour that were assigned to the U.S. was an amazing group. Matt Court kind of put that group together and headed it. He did an incredible job. I think it's really just trying to get, I told my guys all week, like, we're a group of 75. It's just trying to get, you know, create an atmosphere that everyone feels comfortable in, that everyone feels like they're a part of it, because they are. And trying to get all 75 people headed in the same direction. That's probably something I focused on for the last 6 months. Of kind of how are we going to do that? How are we going to message that? And I just had, honestly, I just had a great bunch from all those parties I just mentioned, and whoever I forgot. I mean, just amazing to work with. Very gracious, and I think they all know. I hope they all know that they played a very good, you know, very big role. You know, everyone feels like they played a minor role, but everyone played a big role in the fact that we all kind of came together and moved in the same direction. And the leadership on my team was, you know, I've already mentioned those guys by name, but the leadership on my team and the folks you said that I partnered guys up with were incredible. Just they made a captain's job very, very easy.
Let's pivot to this week. Obviously, between President's Cup and playing tournament host, you stay fairly busy. How's your golf game feeling right now? If you talk a little about that.
I'll go with the what golf game. I was injured. I hurt my, I don't know how, but I hurt my forearm, kind of wrist area, and Flint. I came home, had it looked at. It was a muscular issue. I received a cortisone shot immediately after Flint, and was basically told that, you know, shouldn't hit a golf ball or pick up a club for at least 3 weeks, and it's something that they thought that could linger and could probably go on for months. And thankfully, after 3 weeks, it was still not feeling the best. But once I got through 3 weeks, it was time to focus on the President's Cup, and that got me to 5 weeks. So I played Tuesday for the first time, and I think it was 36 days. It was the first time I had a club in my hand. We had an off-site pro-am over at Pablo, and I was able to play 18 holes and no pain. But I also hadn't played golf in about 36 days, and it kind of looked like it, to be honest with you. I fudged it through a little bit, but it kind of looked like it. I was able to come out yesterday and hit some balls and worked on my putting a little bit. I just haven't worked on my game, so I'm going to be extremely, rusty, and I'm not. I think I don't have a lot of expectations for the week from a competitive standpoint, but it'll be nice to get back out there on the golf course. It's been a tough year. I really have driven the ball poorly. It's no secret. Not only have I driven it crooked, I've driven it short, and I found that it's just a really bad combination in golf. Like, short and straight doesn't work, or short and crooked doesn't work too well. So I need to kind of have a little bit of a reset. I think at the end of this year, try to get, I keep saying it, I said it for a couple of years now, try to get back to healthy. I need to kind of gain some confidence again of what I'm doing in my golf swing and my golf game. It's not there right now, but I'm going to have a lot of fun this week. It'll be a little bit of a victory lap from leading from last week into, like I said, this is our biggest and most special week of the year, coming to Constellation Furyk and friends. You know, having the announcement for the renewal has been amazing, and I'm just excited to see folks, you know, see our fans in Jacksonville, to watch a great event this week, and hopefully raise a bunch of money for charity. So it's kind of just, this week's kind of a dream come true. I'm running on fumes a little bit, but I'm loving doing every minute of it.
Is it the same wrist?
Yeah, same wrist. I don't know. It was right. There's two muscles that overlap. They called it intersection syndrome. So one of those muscles got inflamed, and then they start rubbing on each other, and they both got inflamed, and then my arm was swollen from about here to these knuckles, and it was painful to play, but I got through Flint. The title sponsor there, Ally, is a partner of mine as well, and I wear their hat on tour, and so I wanted to get through the week, but I was struggling. So right now, like, I've hit balls for 2 days, and I've got 0 pain, which is nice. So I'm just rusty.
Jim, what are the course conditions looking like for this weekend, especially following up from storm damage? I know that along the river, things are really hit hard.
Yeah, and this golf course, kind of low-lying golf course. In the renovation a couple years ago, they addressed the drainage a little bit, and I think it's definitely helped. I think over a 5-week period, this area got 24 inches of rain, I think it was. That's just a crazy amount of rain, and we're fortunate. The staff here, from the golf shop staff to the superintendent, Alan Brown, he does some amazing work. And so you wouldn't know that it's rained that much when you're out there. Yesterday in the Pro-Am, we were car path only, trying to protect it. I think they lifted that today, and now we're going to be in the fairways with carts today. So that tells me that the course has come a long way, and it has dried up quite a bit. I know there's some rain in the forecast for the rest of the week, which is, fingers crossed, doesn't hit us, or hopefully we can play around. But I've heard the golf course is playing a little long. It's definitely moist out there and wet. The ball's probably not rolling as much as it has in the past because we've had some real firm conditions. But I've also heard it's in very good shape, and the greens are incredible from what guys are telling me.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.